Hey class, this is part 2 of multiplying fractions. We want to go ahead and do a quick example with 3 different parts. So what we want to figure out here is what happens to a number when you multiply by a number that's greater than 1, less than 1, and equal to 1. So we want to see what happens to that particular number. So we're going to go ahead and work with our example. Here we go. Example. I believe it's example 5, but it's okay. So multiply, you write this down, multiply 54, the number 54, by some fraction, and say whether the products, remember products is the answer to a multiplication problem. The products are greater than 1. I'm sorry, not greater than 1. Greater than, less than, or equal to 54. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We will multiply 54 by some fraction and say whether the products, remember the answer to a multiplication problem, are greater than, less than, or equal to, again, 54. This is what we want to do. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Again, we're going to multiply 54 by some fractions and see if we get a number that is greater than 54, less than 54, or equal to 54. I'm going to go ahead and erase this. Make sure you have this written down. Here we go. All right. So, part A. We have the number 54. We're going to multiply 54 times 1 over 9. And we're going to see what we get. Okay, we got to remember that 54 is a natural number, right? It's a whole number. It's an integer. And it's rational. And since it's rational, we can rewrite it as a fraction, right? So 54, again, what we're doing here is we're multiplying 54 by the number 1 over 9, which we know that 1 over 9 is a proper fraction. So we're going to, again, that means what? Proper fraction means it's what? Less than 1, right? So 54 over 1, multiplied by the number 1/9, which is less than 1. 54 times 1, we get 54. Over 1 times 9, we get 9. 54 divided by 9, we get 6. Now, we have to ask ourselves, is the number 6 greater than 54, less than 54, or equal to 54? Less than 54, right? Less than 54. Okay? We see that, we know that, and we understand that what we did here is we multiplied by the proper fraction 1/9. Okay, now let's observe part B. Now, we're going to get that same 54. We're going to multiply 54 by the number 5 over 2. Now, what do we notice about the number 5 over 2? It's an improper fraction, right? Which means what? That it's greater than 1. Okay, we got that in our minds. Now, we're going to turn 54 over 1 again, right? Again, so we're going to go ahead and multiply this out. We know we're going to get a fraction. 54 times 5. Let's do that over here to the side. 54 times 5. We end up with 4 times 5, we get 20. Carry my 2. 5 times 5, 25 plus 2, that's 270. So we end up with 270. 1 times 2, we get 2. We also could have did 54 divided by 2, but it's okay. Let's go ahead and finish this way. So 270 It's getting rained on. We got to divide this. 270 is getting rained on. Where do we want to go? We're going to do that over here to the side. We're going to erase it in a second. 270. And what number do we have in here? 2 is crazy. Let's come outside. 2 into 2. Once. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 2, we get 0. Bring down the 7. 2 into 7. 3 times. 2 times 3, we get 6. 7 minus 6, we get 1. Bring down this 0. 2 into 10. 5 times. 2 times 5, 10. 10 minus 10, we get 0. We end up with 135. Okay, again, you want to have that work on your paper. I am going to erase it. Make sure you have that written down. Okay. All right. Now, the number 135, we have to ask ourselves, is that greater than 54, less than 54, or equal to 54? 135. It's greater than 54, right? Right? Greater than 54. So again, we need to observe what happened from here to here, right? We're going to talk about it at the end. All right? We're going to talk about it at the end. Now, part C, we're going to get 54 times 4 over 4. Okay? What do you notice about 4 over 4? What is it equal to? What's 4 divided by 4? 1, right? 1. So they cancel. 54 times 1 is 54. Now, is 54 greater than 54, less than 54, equal to 54? Equal, right? Equal to 54. Okay? So, we got to see what happened here. Let's talk about it really quickly. So, part A, when we multiplied by 1/9, right? We multiplied our number 54 by 1/9, which is less than 1, right? 1/9 is less than 1. Okay? 1/9 is less than 1. And we multiplied our number times a number that's less than 1. We got a number that was less than the number we started with. Okay? So we want to pay attention to that. Note that, right? Understand that let's say we had the number 200 here. Because what we want to do is be able to estimate what's happening here without any calculation, right? Without having to multiply these. If this number was 200 and we multiplied by 1/9, we would get a number that was less than 200. Okay, we got to keep that in mind. Now here, we have the number 54. We multiplied it by an improper fraction, which we know is greater than 1. Okay, we know that 5 over 2 is greater than 1. And we multiply our number times a number that's greater than 1, and we got a number that is greater than the number we started with. Okay, so that means, again, if we turn this into 200, 200 times 5/2, we're going to get a number that's greater than 200. If it was 200, but we got 54, right? And then here, 54 times 1, or a number that's equal to 1, we just get that same number, okay? So that's what we want to be able to understand from this. That's what we want to be able to get from this is when we multiply our number, whatever our number is, times a number that's less than 1, proper fraction, we end up with a number less than what we started with. When we multiply our number by improper, or a number that's greater than 1, right, we end up with a number that's greater than the number that we started with. And we multiply our number by 1, we get a number equal, of course, to our number. Okay? All right, thanks for watching. This wraps up part 2. Have a good one.